Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I have a very interesting video for you. I'm going to speak about a multinational company. It is a monopoly in the social media space. It has an excellent product. Unfortunately, it is a loss-making company. The company has made a lot of news because the CEO of the company changed. Now if you know where I'm going with this, pause the video and comment below which company am I talking about. This is an excellent case study in the sense that it helps you understand what the moat of a particular business is, how you need to understand the moat of a particular company before you take entry into it. Super important video because a lot of large investors are flocking towards this stock. So please watch the video till the very end, make notes, understand all the concepts that I'm teaching you. You will learn a lot of things about the tech industry. Alright, so let's get the video started. And which stock am I talking about? So I'm talking about Twitter. It has been in news very recently because an Indian who was born in India, raised in India, and subsequently ended up going to the US to work for Twitter and a bunch of different companies. And eventually now he has become the CEO of Twitter. Great moment for all of us, but there is a more systemic question that we need to answer. And I would try to seek your opinion as to why do a lot of smart Indians leave India? What is your perspective towards it? I will pick 5 excellent answers and I will do a giveaway of my favorite books. Okay, so let's study this video in 5 parts. Part 1 is about the stock price. Why is it available at an attractive price? What are some of the company financials? So let me take you through that story very quickly. You can take a look at the fundamental data for Twitter. And you have this option on Vested itself, so you can analyze it from Vested itself. A lot of you ask me, where do I analyze US stocks? So I use a bunch of different resources. Vested is a good resource as well. Okay, so if we take it from December 16 to 20 onwards, you will see that the total revenues have gone up. You need to read from right to left. Now this is great that the revenues have been increasing. Profits have also been increasing and the net income has been negative this year. One big reason why the net income is negative because they had to settle a lot of tax this year, because of which the net income turned negative. Having said this, it is not as if that Twitter has been generating massive amount of profit and it has become a gold mine and it has found multiple product market fit. No. Twitter has been experimenting right from day one. Every year they launch a bunch of products, scratch a bunch of products, and they keep on experimenting. They are still yet to find their major money makers in the market, and the company is undergoing a series of pivots. Now, if you take a look at the stock price for Twitter and if you calculate the total fall that has happened in the stock, from its highest level, it has fallen by approximately 45%. So the stock is available at a discounted level, so to say, but we need to do a more thorough analysis as to make a sense whether we should be buying this stock or staying away from this stock. The second point that we need to understand is that how does Twitter make money? There are two major avenues through which Twitter is making money. The first is the advertisement revenue. I'll put the snippet here. So approximately 86% of the money that Twitter makes, it is through its advertising revenue and 14% through data licensing. So let me understand both the points a little bit more so that you will be able to follow along the business model when I start speaking about it. So advertisement revenue is fairly easy to understand. For example, if a company wants to advertise its product on Twitter, it can do something called as promoted tweets. This is what a promoted tweet looks like. Very commercial, easy to understand. This is one source of advertising revenue. The second key aspect of advertising revenue is that Twitter keeps on experimenting with new set of products. For example, they have recently launched a newsletter subscription type of a service. Now it is a variant of Substack. Now Substack is a platform where users like you and me can go, we can start our own newsletter service and we can generate a paid newsletter. For example, if I start writing on Substack, I will write a series of different articles. I will hide those behind a wall and I will charge a certain amount for you to view that service. You can actually follow me for free on Twitter. I'm not making my newsletter paid, but I'll definitely start a free newsletter. So Twitter is actually exploring streams like these to make more money in the process, and they are still pivoting with a series of different such projects. The second key area is licensing revenue. Now, licensing revenue simply means that Twitter is what at the end of the day? Twitter is an analytical platform. It analyzes a bunch of recent trends. There are hashtags that it can analyze. They can analyze what type of data am I consuming, what type of articles am I reading. So accordingly, they collect a lot of data from me and sell it to the highest bidder and make money out of it. So that in simple terms is the licensing part of it. Twitter currently is making 14% money from it. Now you would say, okay, Akshat, you know what? Advertisement revenue sounds fancy. Google also does it. Facebook also does it. Twitter is also doing it. Probably they are making a lot of money in the process. Why is it that they are not making enough revenues? Why is it a net loss-making company as of now. There are 4 main reasons why that is happening, and this part you absolutely need to understand properly in order to analyze any tech business. So the first key reason why Twitter is not able to make a lot of money is because its numbers on MDAUs. So this is a term that Twitter came up with, MDAUs. What it simply means is monetizable daily average users. So they are not able to increase the number of MDAUs on a consistent basis. The current CEO of Twitter, Parag Agrawal, he played a very pivotal role in terms of increasing the number of MDAUs on Twitter, and that was one of his key work which got him to the CEO position now. But having said this is an aspect with which Twitter has struggled. They are getting a lot of users, but people are not engaging actively on Twitter day in and day out. So that activity level has gone down, and this is one of the key problems that Twitter is facing. Now this MDAUs are not able to increase too much primarily for 2 reasons, right? The first reason is the pivot, right? Pivot. And the second reason is the competition, right? So these are 2 reasons that are hurting the growth of MDAUs. What do I mean by that? So in simple terms, what I mean here is that in terms of pivoting the product, Twitter has been pivoting its product quite frequently. It started out with a character limit of 140. Then it increased it to 240. Then it started experimenting with Twitter Spaces because Clubhouse came into the picture. Then it started competing on video platforms. So there has been too much pivoting that has been done. Even users are not clear as to what Twitter exactly is doing. This is the first key problem that the company is facing, because of which they are not able to increase the MDAUs. Their PMF, product market fit, of their existing products is not strong enough as of now from that perspective. Now the second thing that is coming into the picture is the competition. Now what happens is that there is a seasonality around social media, that is my sense. For example, very recently Clubhouse came into the picture. Then a few years ago there was Quora, right, which was gaining a lot of traction. Then there was Snapchat, right, which was gaining a lot of traction. Then there is TikTok that is gaining a lot of traction. You will say that, okay, TikTok got banned in India. Yes, in India, but in the US, TikTok is really big. So the point is, this seasonality around social media is just too much. So the entire social media is divided into 3 different types of organizations right now, where there are clear winners. Facebook, for example, is a winner. We might not use it, but the number of active users on Facebook is still very high. Google is a necessary product, right? We search. We have to go from point A to point B, so we'll have to use Google Maps. We have to search something, so we use Google search engine. We have to use emailing, therefore we need to use Gmail. So there is a need-based orientation to Google and Facebook to a certain extent. Then comes the next layer of social media, which is LinkedIn and Twitter, right? Now, good thing about LinkedIn is that LinkedIn is picking up because it's a great money-making platform now, because it gives you a very refined audience. And everything can be linked to your resume. Because your professional profile is put up on LinkedIn, you can do certification courses, you can do LinkedIn learning. In case you're not following me on LinkedIn, follow me there also. It will make me super happy. I write super interesting posts. You will learn a lot. So LinkedIn is good from that particular angle. It is winning the race there. Twitter has become more of a hate mongering mechanism. That is what people tell me. I have not been long enough on Twitter. I recently got active. Again, please follow me on Twitter. But Twitter is basically a controversy platform, so to say, because there are character limits to the tweet. Politicians are very active. High-level prominent personalities are very active. For example, Barack Obama, Elon Musk, they keep on creating a lot of ripples and waves on Twitter. So essentially, it has become a debating platform more than anything else from that perspective. Now, the next layer, the social media that is falling off is Quora, Clubhouse, right? They have not been able to find their product market fit at all, and they are having a very hard time in terms of acquiring users. Now, in case there is some other social media that you would want me to analyze, drop the names in the comment box. I would love to do an analysis on that, but this is what the current ecosystem of social media is. The second reason why Twitter was not able to grow is, counterintuitively thinking, is Jack Dorsey, because Jack Dorsey has been a very controversial figure. When the news came out that Jack Dorsey is going to resign and someone else is going to take over the reins of Twitter, the stock market reacted very positively and the stock price went up by roughly 14%, which shows that people were not supporting Jack Dorsey to begin with. There are multiple reasons for that, right? But 2-3 very prominent reasons. Number one reason is that Jack Dorsey was managing 2 very different businesses. One was Twitter and one was Square. So both these companies are very big. Jack Dorsey was managing multiple of these platforms. Number 2, the issue with Jack Dorsey was that because he was running Twitter, he was getting a lot of political flank. For example, the entire Donald Trump episode happened. Donald Trump used to tweet really weird stuff. I will not get into that. But Twitter banned Donald Trump, and as a result, a lot of supporters of Donald Trump started hating Jack Dorsey. So that circle of hate just kept on going on and on and on, and there was a lot of backlash on Jack Dorsey. Third was his lifestyle, bunch of different personality traits that investors felt very queasy about. When Jack Dorsey resigned, the very next day, big investors like Cathie Wood, they ended up purchasing 1 million stocks of Twitter, which is just crazy. Now, a related reason as to why Twitter has been getting a lot of flank is that Twitter in the past has done a bit of manipulation on the stock prices also. This is reflected from this particular snippet that I've culled out. So you can go read this. In 2016, they had manipulated, they had inflated some numbers. They had to settle a class action lawsuit. So that entire question was there on the management. And since 2017 onwards, Jack Dorsey has been taking a lot of heat. But the fourth and the most important reason why Twitter prices haven't gone up or is struggling for the last 1 year or so, that they have not been able to discover a product market fit and monetize their product efficiently. This is a snippet which shows that they started something called a super follow button, started charging for people, and they ended up making literally no money on that, which is really embarrassing for a company that is of size of Twitter. It simply shows that they did not probably put in a lot of work in terms of doing user research, and they would end up designing such a bad product. It calls the entire leadership into question, because this is not some startup. This is a very old company that has existed for more than a decade with prominent investors like Jeff Bezos on board. Let me show you something interesting. Now here you will see that Twitter is backed by Union Square Ventures, Digital Garage, Spark Capital and Bezos Expeditions. Now this is a fund that is run by Jeff Bezos. And in December 2011, the Saudi prince invested $300 million in Twitter. It is not as if that Twitter is some new age startup and they're just trying to find their feet in the ground and they're just experimenting with a few products. No, this is a very mature company and they should have at least had the sense not to launch such bad products that will receive so much flank in the market. So this brings us to the next section where you will say, Akshat, okay, great, the stock price has fallen. You have made the case that, Twitter literally is, I don't know what they are doing. So why is it that I should even consider investing in this company? You are here making an entire video on that topic. So let me talk about 3 specific points. First is that I believe that Twitter has very, very strong moat. So there is a reason why, because Twitter gets the type of people on their platform that other platforms can't. For example, if someone like Barack Obama has to communicate with their community, or Elon Musk has to communicate with their community, or Amitabh Bachchan has to communicate with his community, where will they go? They will by default go to Twitter. Now, why is that? Because there are celebrities who are like, let's say 30 plus, their default platform becomes Twitter. Why is that? Very important for us to understand the psychology here. Number one, you will not see Narendra Modi doing like Jugnu dance on Instagram, right? He will not do it. He will not do it on Instagram and he will not do it on any other platform. He will also not do it on Twitter, by the way. But bottom line is that Twitter is a slightly more serious platform which is more conducive to slightly more conventional people. That's it. Second, the format of tweets is something which is very easy to execute. Now, Barack Obama does not need to think too much before drafting a 240 character response. He can come up with it very quickly and tweet it and get out of the way. So it's a very quick communication medium. It's a way to put out your unfiltered thought with the community. That is a great way for people to build their audience, and a lot of people are seeing value in it. And this moat is not being taken away by anyone. For example, a lot of companies have tried to build platforms like Twitter. For example, Quora tried doing it, did not go well. Clubhouse tried doing it. Clubhouse is losing steam like anything. So diverting these people, someone like Amitabh Bachchan, Narendra Modi, Elon Musk, Obama, from this platform to something else, not going to happen. It's very, very difficult, at least for a decade. Very clear moat, clear advantage with Twitter. Second is that it is undertaking growth expansions, because this is an area where Twitter has not been able to make a lot of money. They have tried experimenting with a range of products. Those products have not worked out. But this experiment is going to find its product market fit at some stage. And I genuinely feel that that stage has come for Twitter, where it is experimenting with really good products, cool products like its newsletter, which can help it make a lot of money, because people write really good threads on Twitter and that is monetizable. People who are writing threads, they want to actually monetize their community by starting a newsletter service. Twitter can actually become a go-to space on that. Now, Twitter is also experimenting on a series of platforms like podcasting, making stories, making short videos. It is experimenting on that, and there is a very clear theme that Twitter can pick up, which is educational theme. For example, if you have to learn about cryptocurrencies, Twitter is right now the best possible space for you to pick that knowledge. So Twitter can actually become something which Quora could not ever become. So from that perspective, I genuinely feel that Twitter can actually become a platform that puts out a lot of education related content and allow creators to monetize that. That is where Twitter can make a lot of money, and that is where a few of its products will find product market fit in the coming few years. Third and finally, I genuinely feel that Twitter becomes a marketing platform for crypto platforms. Now, to understand this, you need to know a little bit about cryptocurrencies. So I'll give you a very brief background here. So what happens is when any new cryptocurrency or an NFT is launched, a lot of marketing needs to go around it. This marketing needs to happen by default either on Telegram or Twitter these days, because that is where most amount of debate happens and people are able to see both the sides of the equation. So from that perspective, Twitter becomes a major mobilizer in the crypto world, crypto space, new products, processes that are coming in the crypto domain, and it can become a leading voice from that perspective. Since the crypto trend is growing, the metaverse trend is growing, the gaming trend is growing, I feel that Twitter can actually become really big in this space. They are already looking into it, and Twitter is one company that is very receptive to cryptos. Now comes the final section that, hey Akshat, should I invest in Twitter or not? Should I just hold? Should I wait and watch? Well, it's a risky stock, no doubt about that. I will not give you random advice. I'm honestly telling you that it's a risky stock, but I do feel that Twitter has a lot of value to add. I genuinely feel that it has survived so many storms, so much competition from different products. It has survived. So it has some merit to it. So I'm going to invest a little bit of money right now in Twitter. Subsequently, as I start to see Twitter finding more product market fit on different products, I will keep on strengthening my position on Twitter stocks. But I am bullish about the company because it has survived. It has genuine moat of bringing biggest influencers in the economy on their platform and keeping them engaged. That is a massive moat, and they will figure out a way to monetize it. That is my bet. Of course, this is tech. This is changing literally every single day. Lot of pivoting is happening. So as an investor, we should take only small positions in an SIP format. So that is what I'm doing with Twitter, at least for the next 6 months. And then I will reassess the situation and I will brief all of you. Thank you so much. Give it a thumbs up and I will see you the next time.